Previously on the Traveling Together Journal, we explored numerous waterfalls, visited the Palenque archaeological site, and witnessed an impressive bat cave show, all while making our way across southern Mexico on our way to the Yucatan Peninsula. It's a beautiful morning here on November 20th at Lake Bacalar. We're just planning on doing a chill day. We're going to be hanging out, doing some laundry, and just sort of relaxing since we've been doing a lot of drive days lately. Amy is over at camp practicing her Spanish, and we're camped out next to a couple of other overlanders. They're down from Texas, and they're just doing a loop through Mexico. So we're just gonna relax and enjoy the lake today. We didn't know it when we arrived, but we were camped right next to one of the largest and healthiest examples of freshwater stromatolites in the world. These stone formations consist of trapped sediment and lime secretions from the cyanobacteria that have been building them up for over 10,000 years.
So we plan to go kayaking probably today, and we did some snorkeling yesterday in the lake, which was pretty cool. It got really shallow, which was pretty funny that we were even snorkeling through that. But the water was the most perfect temperature. We're having a little dilemma this morning. We're trying to find an open beer store. We're not gonna start drinking right now, but we're going to some cenotes, and we're gonna be potentially camped in the middle of nowhere, so we gotta have some beer.
We just showed up to Cenote Cancariche, and we're gonna grab our snorkel gear and go check it out. It'll be our first cenote dive. cenote was very cool. I hope that we didn't spoil ourselves and start off with the coolest one.
No, it was super rad. That was really beautiful. I hope we don't end up regretting not camping here because it is so beautiful, but there's other cenotes to be seen.
Alright, we're gonna leave here, and our mapping app says it should be about an hour and 15 minutes to get to this other cenote that we wanted to go to that has a camping area at the cenote. We're at Cenote San Antonio, and we are planning on camping here tonight. So we're going to go check out the cenote, maybe go for a little dip this evening, and then we'll come back up and set up camp. While the Yucatan Peninsula boasts some of the best known and most picturesque cenotes in the world, the majority of their 6,000 cenotes are smaller and don't necessarily have any surface exposed water at all. Cenotes are formed by the dissolution of rock by water underground and the subsequent structural collapse, creating an opening that allows us to access the subterranean water body.
That looks like a jumping deck.
Cannonball. The water in cenotes is primarily rainwater that has slowly filtered through the ground and into the connected aquifer matrix. As a result, it contains very few suspended particles and is very clear.
It's day 152 of travel, and we are at a cenote, San Antonio cenote. It was definitely not as impressive as the first cenote that we went to, so we're gonna go check out a couple more cenotes today, and we have no idea what we're going to do today. So we don't know how many cenotes we're gonna go see, and we don't know where we're gonna sleep tonight. So I cooked us up like 4 meals or something like that. So we're all set and ready for whatever may come today. So we're looking for a wild cenote, and we're definitely brushing some bushes here. Jagger, are you excited? Yeah. All right, we've just gotten to this wild cenote. No one's here.
See the water.
Got a nice staircase, so it looks like it's nice.
Oh, the water totally is creepy.
Wow.
It's like,
It doesn't even look like it's there.
yeah, it's so clear. It just looks like the ground kind of has like a blue tinge to it. So we just finished up at the wild cenote, and we're having ourselves a little snack before we move on to our next adventure.
Where are we going?
You're in charge of that.
Oh.
We've been putting on a lot of miles in the last few days. We've driven from southern Quintana Roo up to the state of Yucatan, and so we've pretty much gone the whole length of the Yucatan Peninsula. And I've got to say that these two states have the best roads in all of Mexico. Right now we're on like a little side road, and it's better than most of the highways we've been on.
What was that before?
We're at the beach! We're at the beach!
I honestly think that it's quite possible that these last few months while we've been exploring the mountains might have been the longest that Matt's been away from the ocean ever in his entire life. On a side note, guys, our camera is totally breaking. For a while it just like seemed like it didn't want to take the batteries, freshly charged batteries, just change battery. And now the shutter's not opening. And I had just freshly had the camera repaired by Canon before we left on this trip. But I think we're gonna try to pick up a new camera in Cancun, but it's not gonna be cheap. Hopefully it'll be easy. Hopefully they have good cameras there. Look at all this trash. We need to get some trash day. Do a beach cleanup. Oh, it's so gross. So why are we here? There's supposed to be a lot of flamingos.
Just across the highway from where we just stopped to check out the beach, there was a lagoon, and on the way in we saw some pink flamingos off in the distance. So we pulled over, drove to the end of this like dirt road, and now we found this path. And so we're just kind of walking down the path hoping to get a better look at some pink flamingos in the wild. Unfortunately, the flamingos were all hanging out in the middle of the lagoon, so we didn't get very close. I don't think Jagger was trying to be very sneaky either, so that probably didn't help. It was still a nice rest stop before hopping back in the truck. We planned to camp at another cenote that night and had a ways to go still, but the estimated drive times on our mapping app proved to be a bit too optimistic, and we found ourselves driving into the night, hunting for a dog-friendly hotel along our route. We eventually found a place that was willing to accept Jagger and crashed out for the night.
Jagger absolutely hates hotel rooms. They make him really uneasy. So whenever it's time to leave, he gets so excited. Oh, hey, nope. You gotta heel. Yeah. All right, we're leaving this hotel. It's actually kind of an awful experience. And we spent way too much money on it, which really just enhanced the awful experience. And we're gonna head to another cenote that has a Tarzan swing or zip. Maybe it's a zip line, I don't know. But we're looking forward to it, we're excited. Here you go. Gracias. Always gotta be nice though, right? So we're on our way to this beautiful cenote. We're like passing by the local dump. Yummy. Vultures everywhere. It's a vulture party! Oh, this puppy is so cute. Aww. Trash puppy. It's not like it's any better in the States or anything. It's just, we don't drive by it on the way to beautiful tourist locations.
Looks like we just came in the back way. When we got to this turn, all the signs were pointing in the other direction, so I don't think we were supposed to know the dump was there.
Now we just got to the cenote. I made us some quesadillas that other morning with this guacamole bean dip that I've started to make on a semi-regular basis. Having ourselves a little lunch.
Next time on the Traveling Together Journal, we explore the concrete jungle of Cancun, and Matt gets downright desperate for some surf.
We have some big thank yous for our superstar supporters.
We would like to thank Somer Moran, Tardzinger, Jennifer Masters, and Sandra Gutierrez for joining the Expedition Support Team on Patreon.
Thank you so much, guys. We'd also like to thank Jason Howes for buying us some rounds of beers. Thank you all for your support. Right now we have 17 patrons on Patreon, and that is just crazy to us. So thank you all for your continued support.
Thanks for the support, guys.